Welcome to the Learning Tree Book Club's monthly regular meeting, and I'm Meredith McGee.
Vicki Jenkins.
Mary Hardy.
My name is Harriet Chia, and I am 6 years old, and I'm going to the second grade.
Okay. You in the first grade? Okay. I was thrown off by that one, Harry.
Going to second grade. Moving on up.
Made it to the first grade. Okay, and I wanted to announce that the Learning Tree Book Club made the newspaper, and I want to thank the Jackson Free Press for doing the story. The name of the story is Learning Tree Grows Mississippi Readers, and Taylor McKay Hawthorne wrote the article, a reporter there. And I guess I could read first, because Harry, you going last today? Okay. I had about two things I wanted to read. First, I wanted to share with you all. My mother has wrote a new book, Trip in the Enchanted Forest. But it really is a good story. This is the first page. Great grandchildren. I wanted to read a couple pages. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Okay. One day, not too long ago, Richard, Janiyah, Prince, Apollo, and Zion asked their mother if they could take a trip in the enchanted forest near their home so they could meet some animal friends. Their mother said, yes, you may go into the forest, be back by sundown. All the children were excited and skipped with glee. The first animal they saw was a pit bull, and his name tag read Boxer. Woof, the dog barked, and the kids responded, bow wow. Richard patted Boxer and asked him to come along and walk with them. Boxer wagged his tail happily and followed them. And this is a picture of Boxer. And actually, my niece, she's 19 now. She drew the illustration. As the children walked a little further into the forest, they looked up and saw a bird. It was a robin. His outer coat was blue. His stomach was orange. The robin flew down and responded, chirp, chirp. The kids cheered in excitement. Now they had two new friends, Robin and Boxer. Chirp, 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 said the kids to the bird. Not long after walking, Janiyah saw a cow. She said to the cow, join the group and be our friend. The cow said, sure. Further into the enchanted forest, they found a cave. They decided to rest because someone was tired. They walked into the cave and took a short nap. Now I wasn't going to read I don't know, but I just was so excited about it. And at the end, the children get to do activities, right? Then they get to draw two pictures. And this is our newest book that we have for the Learning Tree Book Club, Tales of Thomas and Friends. Harry, you ever read any Tales of Thomas books? Probably got some at school, huh?
I don't know.
Okay, this one says Thomas and the Great Discovery. It was a beautiful day on the island of Sodom when Thomas, the tank engine, discovered the old forgotten town of Great Waterton. Thomas was put in charge of repairing Great Waterton. He worked very hard. He wanted to show everyone that he could do many important jobs. You got to work hard to get anything done. Thomas liked to explore all the tracks around Great Waterton. But one morning, he puffed a little too fast around a curve and toppled off an old track. Harvey lifted him back on. Thomas was bumped and bruised. Went to Soda Stream Works for repairs. Uh-oh. He had an accident. Ran off the tracks. He had to go to the shop. Y'all, and we all know about those car repairs.
That's right.
When Thomas, yeah, when Thomas returned from this Steamworks, he found a new engine named Stanley in charge at Great Waterton. Thomas's funnel flattened. He had lost the most important job he had ever been given. Wow. Stanley asked Thomas to short some freight cars. Thomas biffed one car too hard and it rolled onto Morton's mine. Wow. Then Thomas crashed through a blocked junction into an abandoned tunnel and jumped off the tracks. He worried that no one would ever find him. Man, I tell you, he had this great opportunity. He's going through it. Luckily, Stanley came looking for Thomas and helped him back onto the track. Man, I need some friends like Thomas. I think I get 2 or 3 too. Thomas realized that Stanley was a good friend. They decided they could share all the repair work. Okay. Finally, the work was done. Great Waterton was as good as new. Sir Top Hat was very proud of Stanley and Thomas. Thomas smiled at his new friend and Pete. We're both really useful engines. Well, all right. Okay. Anybody want to read next?
I will. I'll read.
Okay.
I don't know whether I shared these this summer when I was reading, but I've been writing about. I don't know what I did. I've been writing about my dad. So I have 2 pieces, 2 poems that I've written about my dad.
Yes.
Is it okay if I read them?
Yes, please do.
Okay. This one is entitled My Dad. My dad was a real man, a man with a plan. He told my mama he wanted a family of 9, and he did over time. 5 girls and 4 boys. We were his joys. He provided for us through many trials, and trust. He kept us close and protected us from most, and tried to make sure that we were pure, honest, patient, and secure. He never said an unpleasant word to be heard by a listening herd. That's H-E-R-D. His punishment was a given eye. When he gave it, you would say bye and move on to another chore out of the door. A quiet and gentleman, my dad, a man with a plan, a real man, 1926 to 2003. And the other piece is, that's my dad. I entitled this one, My Daddy. My daddy was a man of substance who would entertained no nonsense. He did not converse about worthless opinions. He talked about world and national tensions. When he spoke, people listened because he spoke with authority and shared knowledge of notoriety. A persons of note in society. He watched the evening news and screened it with all ears, because when he shared their views, he wanted it to be objective news. He paid attention to the market every day at noon because he had cattle to sell. But when he shared, had to be reliable information. My daddy was a man of substance. That's my daddy. Then I have another piece, if it's okay, I'll share.
Can I ask you a question about the one you just read?
Yes.
When you was talking about your father, you were saying that he used to watch the market. I was thinking he was really a smart man.
Yeah.
You know, because he was selling what, cattle?
Cattle. Well, we had grain and cattle, but he sold more or less the cattle.
And I want to ask you, do you remember about how much he would get for one cow?
Well, he watched the market, and they sold for so much a pound. I'm thinking, but I can't recall how much he would get.
I know that. I know you said detail. Yeah. But I want to ask you two other things. Your daddy, what was the most valuable thing you learned from your father growing up? And what was something that he always used to say, like a phrase or something like that?
Well, he always said, be able to sponsor your own show, in care of yourself. And then he was very, very patient. Never heard him say something derogatory or negative about anybody. He would always say, well, they'll do better. He was just always just kind and always seemed at peace.
And you say he used to say, sponsor your own show?
Be able to sponsor your own show.
Good wisdom.
We took that. You need to be independent, self-sufficient, and not be dependent on other folks. But I can also remember, long time ago, and they still do this. When I was growing up, they called it commodities. You go and you get, I guess, food to help take care of your family. He did not take any of that stuff. And it was 9 of us. My mother would say sometimes, well, you need to do this. He would say, no, take care of my own children. So, that. And this other piece is, I've had it around. It's the price we pay, and it's the students that integrated, that desegregated Mississippi State College for Women. And each one of those girls, it's 9 on the 3, 6, 9, 12 on the cover. And I think all have a piece in here.
Hold that up, because I actually never saw them before. Hold it up for me.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah. And what are their
Well,
names?
that's I'll have to go back through and pull out all their names. Jessica Thornhill, E.A. Whittington, Barbara Harris, Donna Patterson, Sheila Dickens, Bessie McLean, Alicia Chandler, Haley Hampton, Derma Graham, Kate Bowen, Amon Khan. Okay. And this one is entitled Not Fitting In. It reads, fitting right in this world just isn't for me. They laugh and holler. I just want them, let me be. Let me learn. Let me see. Let me hide shade of the magnolia tree. I move along minding my own business, but they follow me with abuses and they all seem vicious. I'm the same as everyone. There's no need to be suspicious, but I'm me. Just please let me be. I'm the same as you. You're the same as me. So why can't we all be under the same magnolia tree? Not fitting in. Okay. All right.
So that was poetry?
It's poetry. I guess it's just a short piece. I guess it could be. Yeah, it's a piece of poetry.
What year did they integrate the University
Let me see.
of School for Women?
I want to be specific, so let's see. I'll probably come back to that. I'm not sure. I don't see it right here. I have to go back and find that. Segregation.
Now it's the university. It started as Mississippi College for Women.
Yeah.
Now it's
Mississippi
University.
Mississippi University for Women. Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't see the exact. I don't see it right now. I'll find it and come back to it. But it was after 1960. After 1964, really. But I don't see the exact date. Okay, we move on. I'll find it and mention it later. But it was after 1964.
Are you reading something else?
Well, I can, but I was going to wait and let someone else.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just wondering, Vicky, are you reading something?
Well, I was going to finish my John Grisham. So if because I was
yeah, how many pages you
I was
Vicky?
reading about 5 pages, 3 or 4 pages of the John Grisham.
Oh, you probably could read about 6 or 7. Just because we only have 4 readers.
Okay.
Okay.
The town of Seabrook is a backwater North Florida, far away from the sprawling development that is Retirement Village. Tampa, 2 hours in the south. Gainesville to the east. Though the gulf of 45 minutes as on the 2-lane road, coasting in the last never attack of the interstate and the state's mimic development, with 11,000 people in Seabrook in the state of Russell County, and the center of the most of the commercial activity in the neglected area. Population draining had been studying for some time, and by for retirees and attack in the cheap living mobile homes park. Main Street hang on what was a few empty buildings, and there were even some large discomfort houses. There were some who were discounted houses from the edge of town. The handsome Spanish style courthouse is a well-preserved and busy and 24 layered 10 of the Madame Leg businesses to the county. This is a still story of what I was talking about, the John Grisham that always wrote his legal thriller. And this one was set in Florida. And it's this guy was really trying to represent a young man who had been illegally convicted, and he was trying to overturn his conviction. And 22 years ago, one of them was found murdered in his office. For a few months, Seabrook made the only leading time in the history. His name was Keith Russo, the 37 in the time of his death, 37 at the time of his death. His body was found on the floor behind his desk with the blood everywhere. He had been shot twice in the head with the 12-gauge shotgun. There wasn't much of the fence. The crime sense photos were grisly, even sickening, at least for some of the jurors. He was alone in his office, working late and fateful in December evening. Shortly before he died, he died on the electricity on his office was cut off. Shortly died, the electricity in his office was shortly turned off. Keith had practiced law in Seabrook for 11 years with his partners and wife, Dana Russo. They had no children in the early years of the firm. They had worked in the general prescription area, but both worked in the ships in their game, and escaped the basics of writing deeds and filing no-fault divorces. The two aspired to be lawyers and up to the state's lucrative short system, all of the level through competition, provided a fence as they struggled to the land of the big case. Dana was the hair salon when her husband was murdered. Dana was the hair salon when her husband was murdered. She found the body 3 hours later and did not come home and would not answer the phone. After the funeral, she became reclusive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, hey, Vicky,
I'll finish this page and then
okay?
I'll finish this page and then we're
Okay.
gonna end.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Dana was at the hair salon where her husband was murdered. She found his body 3 hours later when he didn't come home and would not answer the phone. After his funeral, she became reclusive and mourned for a few months. She closed the office door and sold the building. And so where she was, she collected $22 million life insurance and inherited key interest in the joint assets. The life insurance policy was discussed by investigators. Okay, that's the last part. That's the last part of that.
Every time I try to get this together to do this, then this shit.
That's the last part of that chapter.
And that's John Grisham.
Yes, John Grisham.
Okay, you know, John Grisham's children, he says that his children always complained about him not going to work because he was always at home. And he, you know, he had to help them to understand that he was working. You know, he was writing, but he was just writing from home.
Yeah.
And back to MUW was integrated September 1966.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Thailand, you want to read now?
I had a girlfriend. Oh, you go ahead.
You got something to read?
I don't have a book because I'm not at home right now.
All right. Well, Harry, you ready to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Euronymous Valentine.
What's the name of it, Harry?
Euronymous Valentine.
Okay.
A very special date. I returned home from work extra early. I get ready. I had so many things to do. Take a shower, comb my whiskers, and get dressed. After all, it was a very special day. It was Valentine's Day, and I had a very important date. I was so excited I could barely speak. Can you guess the name of my Valentine? Well, her name is, oops, I almost forgot to introduce myself. My name is Stulton, Colonel Stulton. I am the publisher of the most famous newspaper on Mars Islands, the Rodents Gazette. Away, where, anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, I was about to tell you my Valentine's name. Her name is Pantora Pretty Paw. She is a TV reporter decided to saving the environment with a fantastic rodent. I have a crush on her for the longest time. The phone rang just as I was getting ready into the shower. It was my friend Haka Conrad, Mouse Island's most famous detective. Susan, I need your help solving a cheesecake mystery. I began. I cut off the cantilly. Sorry, I squeaked. I'm busy. I'll call you back. I hung up the phone and hopped into the shower. Ah, I ah, didn't you just love a nice steam shower? I washed my fur 10 times by the time I was done. My paws were wrinkled and there was no more hot water. Oh well, at least I ha- was squeaky clean. I combed my whiskers, potted a breath, mint in my mouth, and sprayed myself my favorite cologne, cheddar green, for the prettiest rodent. Then I put on my tuxedo. I had rented it just for the occasion. I looked at my watch. 2 hours until my hour date. I couldn't wait. Who did that? Beside the tuxedo, I had another rented a plush new cheese-colored convertible. I hop. I hope Petunia would be impressed. I mentioned I have a terrible crush on her. She's so beautiful, so charming, and so delightful. Too bad I couldn't tell my left paw from my right. When I'm around her, still I told myself that tonight would be different. Tonight I was asked Pet, Pet, Petunia to be my Valentine. I squeaked, giving myself a quick peep talk. I glanced at my watch. Only 1 hour until our date. I tried a few deep breathing exercises to relax myself. Then I'll check the time again. Better early than late, I decided. As I was walking a, out of my house, a pail of rotten fish rained down on my head. So much for my expensive cologne. The pail had fallen from the roof. So I looked up. Who did that? I yelled, but no one answered. I ran back inside to take a freezing cold shower and ran out again. 2 seconds later, I was flying down the stairs. Outside my building, someone had left a banana peel on the step. I slipped and flipped through the air. When I landed, I split my pants. I humbling and mumbling. How strange. I hadn't seen the banana peel when I came out of my house the first time. Who did that? I screamed, but no one answered. I charged back inside and changed into my everyday green suit. My day was turning into a disaster before it even began. Calm down, General, I told myself as I climbed into a cheese-colored convertible. A second later, a dump truck drove by and spilled an entire load of yucky mud on me. Rat touching. Rat mate, I cried. Who did that? From inside the dump truck, a familiar face impressed me. It was my friend Bob Conrad. I got you, Stilton, he chuckled. I'm so good at pulling pranks. I was so mad, steam poured from my eyes and glared at her paw. He didn't seem to notice. I'm here to get your help with this cheesecake. Mystery I needed to solve, he said. I forced myself not to pull out of my fur. Listen to the call. I said, I already told you Valentine's Day, and I have an important day. I started miserably at my plus sports car filled with mud and my Sultan green suit. You ruined my car and my clothes. I will wail. Oh, come on, Jemima. Call said, it's not that bad. It was, if you want, I'll lend you my dump truck. I bursted in tears. What's worse than driving to a date in a car filled with mud? driving to a date in a dump truck. Finally, I pulled myself together. What else could I do? Pandora was waiting on top of everything else. I was late for my date. Do you smell raw fish? I ran back home and took another frozen shower and threw on an old doggy outfit. It was the only clean thing I had left. I know I should have done laundry the night before. Then I raced back outside. I was about to call a taxi when I rumbled something awful. The cab and buses were all on strike. My fur stood on the end. Holy cheese! I felt like I was about to explode. And at that moment, I spotted my nephew Benjamin's bicycle. It would have to do. That is 10 pages of this book. Actually, 11.
What? Now, what you say? Did you get to a good stopping point?
Film. 11 pages.
Okay. So you read about. Tell us who the main characters are. This is a Valentine story, and somebody was trying to impress somebody. And what did they do? Who was they trying to impress? And what did they do to impress them?
I don't know. He got a convertible color, a cheese-colored convertible to impress his Valentine, and his name was Jeremiah Stilton. That's the main character. He's a famous publisher in Mouse Island of the Rodens Gazette.
Where does it take place?
At his house.
At his
house. No, it doesn't take place at his house. It takes place, I'm pretty sure, at the museum.
Okay.
Because he's going different places. Don't know why.
Okay. Okay.
He goes from his house to a restaurant to a museum to a factory.
Okay.
Yeah. He was driving around.
Yeah.
What kind of car did he have?
A cheese-colored convertible, but he had to swap to a banana mobile.
A cheese color convertible. I bet that's nice.
Bet
And
that
then
is
he had to switch into a banana mobile.
okay. He's keeping within the same color.
And the banana mobile runs on banana peels.
Oh.
Okay.
I like that story. And he's a publisher, Mary.
He's a publisher.
Yeah, Nimo Stilton.
What now?
Nimo Stilton.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Harry, you ready for that spelling bee? You getting ready?
I don't know what to do on the spelling bee.
Are you studying? Are you studying the words? Are you studying the words?
Which word?
And their list of words?
I didn't get one.
Oh, I think
in their list of what?
I think your mother has the list of words.
Okay.
You can ask her about them. Oh, Tiny Ann, are you in the spelling bee or the poetry contest, or both of them?
Ma'am,
Are you getting in the spelling bee or the poetry contest? Doing both of them for
I think the
November?
spelling bee. I don't know which one my mama want to do. Let me ask her.
Okay, okay. I was gonna we had a few more minutes. I was gonna read another Thomas story when I wait till you come back, Charlie Ann. Yeah, I enjoyed that book, Harry.
Ma'am,
I enjoyed your story.
thank you. This
Mhm.
is my cousin's story. They left 3 of their books. This is one of them.
Oh yeah, they
Then
left
there's
people.
the Attack of the Cat Bandage and the Wild Wild West.
Oh yeah, how many you read of their books?
Just this one.
Okay, okay.
I
I mean,
have more.
That's Cherish's book.
Both of theirs.
okay, someone read the book with that author this summer, I believe.
That was Cherish. His cousin Cherish.
Yes. Oh, all right.
Attack the Wild Wild West.
He
Yeah.
said spelling.
Okay then.
Spelling bee.
You got your list of words?
Words at the house.
Okay. And Miss Mary is over the spelling bee, one of the ladies. She's from Greenville, Mississippi.
Okay, so have you registered?
I think she Tanya, didn't you register? I think her mother registered her in August.
Registered for the spelling bee?
Yeah, I think she got registered in August.
Okay.
I think it's on the Delta Book Festival page. Yeah, I think she got registered in August.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'll
Okay.
have to look.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna read another Thomas story since we got a few more minutes. And this one is Heroes of the Rails. Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, that's it right there. One sunny day, Thomas followed an old overgrown track and found a long forgotten engine named Hero. Hero had come from a far away land. He had been one of the first steam engines on the island of Sodar. Thomas didn't want Hero to go to the smelting yard, so he decided to repair him in secret. He brought new parts to Hero every day. I guess the smelting yard is a place where they would destroy the engine. This is the next page. Okay. Spencer found out about Thomas's plan. He said Thomas was wasting his time helping an old heap of scrap metal. Spencer rushed to tell Sir Topham Thomas had to stop him. The two engines raced over hills and around curves. A creaky old bridge collapsed under Spencer and he splashed into a muddy marsh. Look, they just raced. And that's he collided. Thomas told Sir Topham all about Hero and Spencer. Hero is a very important engine, said Sir Topham Hatt. He was once called the master of the railway. Spencer can wait. First, we must help Hero. After a few days at the Soda Stream Works, Hero was as good as new. Thomas couldn't believe his eyes. Wait a minute. Let's see. Together with Rocky and Thomas, Hero helped Spencer out of the marsh. I'm sorry I called you a heap of scrap, puffed Spencer. Yeah, y'all see him lifting him out of the marsh?
Yeah.
Soon it was time for Hero to return to his homeland. I will never forget what you did for me, Hero said to Thomas. As Hero chuffed to his ship, all the engines whistled farewell to their friend, the master of the railway. Okay, that was it. Another happy ending.
Happy Thomas.
Yeah, another happy ending. Tales in the Secret of Thomas and his friends.
I like Thomas.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like those stories. He always can do. He can do. No matter what, he can do.
Uh-huh.
And
Thomas is the one who said, I think I can, I think I
I think I
can.
can.
The
I
Indian
think I can.
can. Yeah, that's an old book because we was reading reading it when I was a child. Yeah.
So
Okay.
how long do we have?
We have we have about 20 minutes. You got something ready?
I have another poem I can read
Okay then.
from the bridge.
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember the bridge? And this one is entitled Jazz Roots.
Oh, very selective. Everybody left you.
Huh? I said, I'll read. Do we need to wait till Meredith gets back or I just read?
Okay.
All right. This is entitled Jazz Roots. Far, far from Africa, slaves kept the beat alive. The spirit of the drum gave them strength to survive. Slaves breathed their deepest longings into songs that set souls free. Spirituals like prayers, plantation harmonies. In the muddy delta, the slave songs turned to blues. Singers wailed, guitars whined on asphalt avenues. The blues went uptown with rowdy razzmatazz. Sound swelled and swaggered and swung right into jazz. The bassist plucked a rhythm. The cornet blared its call. Jitterbugs were jumping beneath a mirrored ball. The piano clinked and tinkled. The singer tapped her feet. She wrapped her song in satin while the drum kept the beat. And that's Jazz Roots.
And who wrote that one, man?
It's it doesn't say. It's just one of the Fairleigh, Boston, Weatherford. It's the author of the book. So I'm thinking she composed or compiled all of the poems.
Yeah, that's a big book there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I got a Dr. Seuss book. I'm reading. I guess that should be about the end of it. And this one is
Oh, the places you go.
I know everybody on here has read this one.
Yeah.
Oh, the places you'll go. I know Thailand I read it probably 4 times. Oh, the places you go. Harry, you like Dr. Seuss? Yeah, me too. All my life. And this was a Random House book. I wonder if it'll tell what year it was. I'm looking to see when it was originally written. It just says 1909. Okay, that's the first page. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. I know Dr. Seuss was a poet. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where you go. Now that's very powerful there.
That's right.
Very, very powerful. You said you have brains in your head. And reading is a good thing to fill your brains with. You'll look up and down streets. Look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. Oh, so we might just choose not to go down certain streets. It's really got me thinking now. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. So tell me, what do you think that means, Harry and Tyler Hand? I'm gonna read that one sentence again. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. What does that mean to you?
So to be smart enough to not go down a street you're not supposed to go down.
What about you, Tyler?
It, like he walking around something.
Yeah, I think that it means that our streets are not made for us to walk down. He says, and you may not find any.
Be careful where you go. Be cautious.
Yeah, very good. Straight to the point. And if your brain tells you not to go there, don't go. And then, as they say, a leader will stand alone. Sometimes it could be 5 people going down the street, and you got to decide not to go down it and go the other way by yourself. And that's the definition of a real leader, standing alone. In that case, of course, you head straight out of town. It says, out there things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsie as you. When things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. Uh-oh. You'll be on your way. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers and soar to high heights. I guess floating in a balloon is about as high as you can soar in the air. You won't lag behind because you have the speed. You pass the whole gang and you'll see soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. And what do you think it means to top all the rest?
Win everything.
And what's your definition of what you think that means, Tyler?
I think it means wherever he sees, wherever he goes.
And one thing I think top all the rest is I think it's like being the best. Very good answers. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang ups and hang ups can happen to you. What do you think a bang up and a hang up is? It says, I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true that bang ups and hang ups can happen to you. And what does that refer to, a bang up and a hang up?
that you might get into an accident.
What about you, Thailand?
Feel like he just like got hurt or something.
Yes. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your game will fly on, and you'll be left in a lurch. What do you think that means? It says you can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your game will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch.
That everyone else will go to the finish line and you'll still be left behind.
And what about you, Thailand?
If he'll be left behind, he will not be able to win.
Because it was in like an accident, like you all said, or something like that, will slow you down. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. Look, even the colors have changed.
It's blue.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. It said unslumping yourself is not easily done. What do you do if you're unslumping yourself, trying to bring yourself back up? How do you turn around? Like for me, sometimes writing is like a way for me to recoup. Let's see.
You kind of have to encourage yourself.
Right.
Do something
Fun
that you
to
want to get a little push. Yeah, so it has to be reading or writing or walking, eating a bowl of ice cream, uh, pop the bag of popcorn, something to keep you motivated, something to keep you going. Like I
right.
get to walk every morning. That kind of gets me going. So it's finding
Right.
out what makes you work, what encourages you.
That's right. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you can sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? If you go in, should you turn left or right? Or right and three quarters? Or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple, it's not. I'm afraid you will find. For a man maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you're starred in to race down long, wicked roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirders, weirders while space headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the big fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night. That was last night. Or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip flapping, once more you ride high, ready for everything under the sky, ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won, and the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous, as famous can be, with the whole world, wide world watching you win on TV, except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win. Games you'll play against you all alone, whether you like it or not. Alone will be something you'll be quite you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. Sounds like Halloween. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on.
Hey, boy. Boy. What you got there, man? What you got? What you got?
But on you will go through the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go through the kidder crowd howl. Onward, up many a frightening creek. Though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course. As you already know, you get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. life, balance. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And you will succeed. Yes, you will indeed. 98.34% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name, Bixby or Bray, or Ali Van Allen O'Shea. You'll go to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. Oh my God, I'm encouraged. All the places that I'm going, all the things I'm going to win. I'm going to be so great. All right, guys, it's a wrap. And our next Learnership Book Club is the first Saturday of the month, and it's from 2 to 3:30. And our next speaking engagement, if anybody can attend, is Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:30. And the next presentation is the art of manuscript writing, which is October the 6th. And October the 13th, the next staffer will be doing teacher-family relations. Any final thoughts before we end the club today?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it.
I have too. All right, you want to take us away from here, Harry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you for attending this Zoom. Thank you. I hope you can attend the next Zoom on Saturday. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, you all have a good one.
Bye.
Enjoy
Bye.
you.
Enjoy it. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.